Hello everyone. Today I'm sharing with you how to read a design outsourcing. Quote, don't just focus on the total price, look at the deliverables first. This is where many businesses easily go wrong when comparing outsourcing quotes. Because the reality is often, Company A is cheaper. Company B is a bit more expensive. Company C is the most expensive. So the instinctive question is, why is yours so expensive? But the real question should be, what exactly are you delivering to me? First, the conclusion. The core of a quote isn't how much it costs, but deliverables. In design outsourcing, the same total price can correspond to completely different workloads and risks. If you only look at the total price and not the deliverables, then price comparisons are almost meaningless. Second, why will choosing outsourcing based on the total price definitely lead to losses? Because behind the total price, there are at least 4 huge differences. 1. The actual amount of content delivered. 2. The extent of revisions allowed. 3. What's included and what's extra chargeable. 4. When is delivery complete? Ignoring the breakdown will turn these into costs and disputes later on. Third, a reliable design outsourcing quote must include these 5 items. These 5 items are 10 times more important than the total price. First item, specific deliverables. Is it clearly stated what is it? You should look for descriptions like this. Deliver 3 main images, 1.1, 3, 4, 6 screen detail page, information-based, excluding photography. Not, provide main image design, complete detail page design. The more general the description, the greater the uncertainty later. Second item, the workload boundary for each delivery. The key isn't what to do, but to what extent to do it. For example, 1 core selling point per main image, 1 problem solved per screen on the details page. If the quote doesn't specify what constitutes completion, there will inevitably be repeated back-and-forth negotiations later. Third item, modification rules. This is a cost black hole. Make sure you understand. How many rounds of modifications are there? How to differentiate between similar requirements and new demands. How to charge for exceeding the limits. Warning signs. Supports multiple modifications. Modified until satisfied. Sounds considerate, but will definitely become a time drain later. Fourth item, excluded content, more important than included. A reliable quote will always clearly state, excludes copywriting and planning, excludes photography modeling, excludes event strategy development. If excluded isn't listed, it's as if you're already entitled to it. This is the root cause of many quotes that get more expensive the more you do it. Fifth item, delivery milestones and acceptance methods. You need to confirm, when is the first draft due? At what step is confirmation considered approved? What documents are included in the final delivery? If the quote only says, delivered upon project completion, be very cautious. IFE. Why is a clear delivery list more worthwhile? Many businesses have a misconception. Is such a detailed list just an attempt to inflate prices? But actually, it's the opposite. The clearer the list, the less risk, and the more stable the price. Truly affordable outsourcing isn't about low unit prices, but rather, no repetitive work, no haggling, and no extra charges. V. A quick way to understand a quote. You can check yourself using these 3 questions. 1. Can I clearly state what this money buys? 2. Do I know what step is considered finished? 3. If I ask for more, will it cost extra? If you can't answer even one of these questions, this quote contains hidden costs. 6. Why are some quotes that seem expensive actually more reliable? Because they often break down deliverables into very small details, define boundaries very clearly, explain risks up front. The money you pay is not just the design itself, but also controllable schedule, stable expectations, Less time and effort required to constantly monitor the process. A word of truth for vendors reviewing quotes for the first time. Design outsourcing is not about buying design drawings, but about buying certainty. When you start shifting from how much to what is delivered, you've already avoided most outsourcing pitfalls. In short, when looking at a design outsourcing quote, don't focus on the total price first. First, clearly understand deliverables, work boundaries, modification rules, excluded items, acceptance milestones. Once the deliverables are clear, the price becomes a rationally comparable result, rather than a gamble based on gut feeling.